Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our viewers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fulfillionaires File, where we explore the intersection of purpose, leadership, and living a deeply fulfilled life. I'm your host, Victoria Ferrer, personal power and public presence coach and a financial educator, someone deeply passionate about helping people live with clarity, not burnout. Today, we are joined by an extraordinary woman whose work is redefining how organizations grow, not just through performance, but through people. And she is a neuroscience informed leadership coach, author, and the founder of Alex and Company Consulting LLC, a consultancy dedicated to building healthy, high performing cultures. Please join me in welcoming Alejandra Alex Negrete.
Hi,
Ale-
Victoria.
yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here. It's actually an honor to be here, to be able to share a little bit of my story and to just share this space with you. So thank you for that opportunity.
That's amazing. It's my honor to. Um, can I call you Alex?
Yes, please.
Alex, again, welcome. I want to begin with your story. You don't just teach transformation, you've lived it. So,
Yes.
yeah, and so what shaped your resilience and how did your bicultural background influence your work?
Wow, I love that question. I mean, honestly, I came from survival, right? So moving to a different country, learning a different language, having a lot of medical issues, all of those things kind of shaped you and make you become resilient. I think what clicked for me was when just survival not became something that I must do, but I chose to understand it and understand how to build resilience, how to not just survive trauma, but heal from it. And that's when everything changed because then I went from being the victim of life and just creating the life that I wanted despite all the suffering that I think every human goes through, right? We all have stories that shape us. And I think the difference is what do you do with that story? How do you use it to help you move forward? And so that became my life journey and my goal. It's like, okay, this is going to happen. This happens to everyone in different shapes and forms. But how do we grow from it and how to make it something that we could use to make a good life out of it?
Yeah, I totally agree. That's amazing. Let's talk about something bold you stand for. Wellness is not a perk, it's a growth strategy. What are companies afraid to confront? And how does burnout affect the bottom line?
Yes, that's a fantastic question because most organizations still treat wellness like a side project, like yoga
Mm-hmm.
on Friday nights to fix burnout. And burnout's not a schedule issue; it's a system issue. And our culture rewards overwork. And so that becomes a problem. So constant urgency, emotional suppression, it's not a wellness program that can fix that. However, wellness should be something we've built to help people work better, to lead, to communicate every day. That's when it becomes a growth strategy and not just a checkbox that we do. Oh, well, I
Mm-hmm.
did that yoga class. I listened to this class. So my goal is to make it something that is a must have, not something nice to have.
Yeah. Wow. This is where leadership must evolve from managing performance to understanding people. You created the RISE leadership method.
Yeah.
Regulate, integrate, support, empower. Which step do leaders struggle with most, and how can leaders practice regulation daily?
Well, I would say they struggle most with regulation because they don't understand it. They don't know how to do that themselves. And that is something we learn when we're babies. And so, depending on how
Mhm.
you were raised and what environment and what culture you were raised, you're better or worse at it. The good thing is that we can teach you how to do it effectively and quickly. So,
Mhm.
the idea is to help you regulate, because
Mhm.
if you're dysregulated, then you are reactive, not intentional. And that creates the whole problem. That's the root of everything. So I think
Yeah.
that's what they struggle most with, but that's also the most important part.
Wow. This actually aligns deeply with emotional regulation and mindfulness, something I also facilitate through dialectical behavioral therapy. So this is something really people need to be aware of, and that's why your teaching method or your leadership method, it is so revolutionizing
Thank
because
you.
you are teaching something new to the people, something that they need to do every day, whether you're in your own, family environment or the work environment or the community environment. It's a must. So burnout is no longer silent. It's visible, measurable, and costly. What are subtle burnout signals?
Well, the early signals of burnout are settled, which, that's why they get missed a lot. It's not just exhaustion, it's things like irritability, disconnection, lack of motivation, even numbness, right, to
Mhm.
harsh situations. People start caring before they crash, and leaders often reward that phase because that person is still producing. By the time performance drops, burnout is already deep into that person. So the intervention has to come earlier when behavior starts shifting, not when results fall.
Wow. So, Alex, how can AI, like your Thrive engine, support prevention?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. I love that because we're in such an amazing place right now where we can either allow AI to take over and make us feel less than, or we can partner and we could use it to create a good livelihood for ourselves. And so right now, there is a lot of data that your smart devices already collect through your smart watches. And if we use that data responsibly and correctly, we can determine when someone is experiencing burned out, when they're stressed out, when they can focus more efficiently, when they need more or less sleep or more or less physical activity. And so AI can help us analyze all this data and make it so that it applies to your day-to-day life. Not only if you're a leader, but even if you're a mother, even if you're just have a 9 to 5 job or you have your own business, we can help you determine when are you the most productive so that you don't burn out, so that your projects, you don't have to give them up because you don't
Yeah.
have the brain power to keep going. We can teach you how to set yourself up for success before you even start going down that road.
Oh, so viewers, please listen to this interview. This is really for me and for everyone watching there. It's really important. Alex is really coming up with something that everybody needs and everybody is looking forward to. Let's shift inward, Alex. Your
Okay.
book, Rooted in Love, A Healing Journey to Self-Worth, is described as a mirror, not a map. What does being rooted in love really mean?
Wow. I gotta share something with you before we go down that road. And I don't share this very often, but I think it's important to say. I wrote that book from a hospital bed,
Oh,
and I had heart inflammation at the time. It was one of the most devastating and hardest moments of my life, physically, emotionally, everything all at once. And yet I remember it as a gift because for the first time, I couldn't keep pushing, fixing, surviving the way that I always had. I had to stop. I was forced to stop and I
mhm.
wasn't ready. And in that stillness, because remember at that time, COVID was going on, so there was no visits
Yeah.
allowed. Doctors are not going to sit with you in your room 24/7. So I had interaction with humans, but very, very specific and very driven on a purpose, right? You need
Mm-hmm.
water, you need medication, we need to do this test. There was no real connection there because of the environment and everything that was happening. And so I was forced to look inward, right? And start to understand myself differently. And writing that book wasn't about creating something. It was about uncovering something. And what I uncovered became the foundation on everything I built since that moment. And Alex Go didn't come from a business idea. It came from that moment, from the book, the root of all of it. And so what rooted in love means, it means learning how to love yourself and accept yourself in ways that take a lot of work. So you have to look at what your values are. What are the beliefs that are holding you in the place that you are? What are the things that you're saying yes to and then saying no to? Because those things you're saying yes to mean you're saying no to something else. And is
Mm-hmm.
that exchange worth it? Are you aware of what you're exchanging every time you say yes to something or no to something? Self-love is such a deep skill. And it's not something you practice once a day or you go in a 3-week retreat and then you got it. It's something you have to do every single day. But if you don't know the
Mm-hmm.
foundations of what that means, then you're always going to struggle and never going to actually go deeper than just getting your nails done or going to the salon or getting a massage, which are
Mm-hmm.
also super important, but they're not addressing the real root why you struggle with who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what rooted in love is. It's
Wow.
finding your love and then growing from within.
Yeah, that's awesome. What would you say to someone who feels invisible today?
Wow, that's such a deep question. What would I say to someone that feels invisible today? I would say you don't own visibility to anyone.
Mm,
You are visible. As long as you step in front of the mirror and you are self-aware of you, that's all you need. Sometimes we get sidetracked by chasing acceptance or by chasing goals that someone else set up for you. And because those goals didn't come from your core values and from your needs and your beliefs, then they feel unachievable and make you feel invisible. But if you dig deep and you find what matters to you, what are your motivations, what is your purpose, then you'll never feel invisible because you won't need anybody else's approval. You have you, and that's all you need. There will never be anyone like you again. There will never be anyone that has what you have, and it's not comparable to anyone else. It doesn't matter
yeah.
how many people are doing the same trade or have the same skill you have, they will never do the same way you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's hundreds and thousands of restaurants. You would think that people would say having a restaurant is a terrible business because there's so many of them. Guess what? That's not true. It's not true because every time you go to that restaurant, you have a different experience, even if it's the same food,
Yeah.
right? Even if it's the same menu, the experience is completely different. The same thing happens with humans.
Wow.
So yes, just look at the mirror and remember who you are, not what people want you to be, what you need to be for yourself.
I like that. Not for people who want you to be, but what you need to be. I like that. This resonates deeply because healing is not about becoming someone new, but remembering who we are.
Yes.
Let's go back to organizations.
Okay.
What behaviors destroy psychological safety?
Shaming, ego
Yeah,
behaviors. I need to prove you wrong. I'm right and you're wrong. Um, Behaviors that come from not healing, but just driving result
yeah,
without human input.
yeah.
And then creating this behavior of if you shine, then I can't shine. But the truth is that if we both shine, there's more light, not less,
Mhm.
right? And so one thing that I focus on teaching my leaders is what is the end goal? Do you want to be right or do you want to resolve the issue?
Mhm.
Stroking your ego or are we solving a problem? Because those are two different outcomes, right? So if the idea is to make you feel better by yourself by putting someone else down, we're never going to solve the problem. We're creating other problems, but we're not solving the initial problem.
True.
Asking questions are is important, but asking the right question is just as important as the question, right? So instead of
Mhm.
asking who messed up, We could ask, where did we go wrong? As a team,
Mhm.
what can we have done better? Where did we miss the mark? Not who did this and why did they do it, right? Because no one is going to speak up when they're holding the whole blame, when it's
Mhm.
someone else's, just one person's fault, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, Alex, it also works for the marriage, right?
Very
Between
much so.
very much, right? An argument between the husband and his wife, as you said. It should be that it shouldn't be the blame factor, but saying like, how can we work from here? How can we do this better? So I think that, by introducing this method, Alex, you're also solving marital problems in
I
that
think,
case.
yes,
Yeah. So this is a lesson learned for all of us. What's one thing leaders can do immediately, Alex?
learn how to self-regulate.
Yeah.
And then also, just is this a simple question? What is my goal? My
Hmm.
true goal. Ego aside, do I need to prove to the team that I'm right because
Yeah.
that drives, I don't know, power? Or do I need to move my team forward so that I can get to the result we all need, right?
Yeah.
And when we lead is different than when we command. People do things for you because they believe in you. They believe in the mission and the end goal, and they will go anywhere with you if you allow
Right.
be human in the way. But
Yeah.
when you lead by, well, I pay you to do this to get it done, you're gonna end up with a really terrible team or without anyone that wants to actually go the extra mile with you, right? So if you're asking your team to stay late with them. Don't be the one that leaves at 5 o'clock and expect them to stay into 8 o'clock at night.
Exactly.
Right?
So true.
Or even better, learn when they can focus and be the strongest so that they don't have to work overtime because you allow them to focus when they need to. Because now we understand the biology and we understand what that can happen efficiently. So no one has to be overworked, right?
Yeah. Well, you wear many hats. You are a leader. You are a mother. You are a wife. What keeps you grounded daily?
Love,
Mhm.
breathing, faith, and understanding that what I'm doing is bigger than me. It's bigger than my ego and than my fears. And if I get past those, I can help a lot of people. But if I sit in my couch and resonate in all the things that I feel bad about, then no one is gonna get help. No one is gonna be seen. No one is going to get the tools that they need to become who they want to be. And when I said that this book was a gift was because when I was put in that situation at the hospital,
Mhm.
I wasn't dying. I had all of my consciousness. I had all my
Mhm.
abilities, but I was alone. And yes, I was hurting, and yes, it's not great, but I don't remember it that way. I remember as being put in a position where I was able to dig and research and understand. So I could bring all of this knowledge and all these tools to all of you.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what keeps me grounded is knowing that this matters tremendously because I see it every day. I see how just one reframe of mine can change someone's life. Going from being burned out to going on vacation and feeling
Mm.
powerful and encouraged and appreciated just by allowing them to understand how to self-regulate, how to prioritize, how to understand their biology and their work and how to correlate them effectively. It changes everything.
Yeah. Wow. What does fulfillment mean to you now?
Fulfillment. Gosh, I feel like I'm already blessed because when I see my daughters and the work that I do, I feel fulfilled. But I think if I had to speak to what it means in a bigger scheme of things, I think is the ability to know what your purpose is and work every day towards that purpose with full intent, with love and honesty. Because without those, it becomes hard to do the right thing.
That's true. Wow, Alex, this has been a powerful and deeply human conversation. before we close, where can people find you and how can organizations work with you?
Oh, yes, of course. So I my website is alexandcoconsulting.com. You can find me there. There's tons of resources in there. There's a beautiful blog that talks about neuroscience and how it affects your well-being. You can also find me on LinkedIn as the same way that is put in the screen right now, Alex and Co Consulting. You can find me in Instagram and TikTok. I haven't opened it yet. It's like my personal TikTok, but you can find me there too. But mostly LinkedIn. LinkedIn and the website is where you'll get the most information.
Thank you, Alex. So, viewers, if you want to connect with Alex, do it now. Don't wait for tomorrow because you never know what changes and transformation you will be able to experience. Just talk for me, just talking to Alex. I mean, I've learned so much from her, and she has so much to share. So, to everyone watching, fulfillment is not found in achievement alone. It is found in alignment, in healing, and in how we show up for ourselves and others. Thank you again, Alex, for gracing this talk show. And do you have anything else to say before we say goodbye?
And I'm just super grateful for this time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to show the world my work and hope everybody gets my book, Rooted in Love. They could find it in Amazon. Um, have it behind me, but the book that started it all, I'm sure that it's gonna help you create this journey so you can find yourself again.
That's amazing. So viewers, available in Amazon, and take the book because I'm sure there's a lot of lessons to be learned. This is Fulfillionaires File. I'm Victoria Ferrer, reminding you that when people thrive, everything rises. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks again, Alex.
You.
See you next time. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.